Hi Aries, how are you? So this is your February reading, and before I start pulling the cards, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the retrograde that we're going to have in the month of February, and that is the Mercury retrograde that will happen on February 16th, and it's going to go all the way through March 9th. Now this is happening in the sign of Pisces, and for Aries rising, that's in the 12th house. Now, what does that mean for you, Pisces, in the having a Mercury retrograde in a sign of Pisces in the 12th house? That's just going to bring up a lot of issues regarding where you stand in the world. How do you it's just a lot of things that have to do with either isolation or being part of a group. A lot of it might have to do with long distance travel. So if you're planning a long distance travel in the month of February, you're going to see a little bit of a delay or a little bit of a back and forth between certain documents that you have to sign or that you have to take care of before you take on that long journey. And now the other thing that will happen in the month of February is during the retrogrades, the Mercury retrograde is going to be squaring the moon. So what does that mean is that there's going to be a battle between what you want, how you feel, and how you think. So a lot of the things would be, it's a lot of back and forth between your mind and your heart. How you feel and how you think about certain things, certain people, certain situations. So be mindful of that in the month of February. Don't rush into anything. And kind of just take your time a little bit with the planning, because having Mercury retrograde go into your 12th house for Aries rising specifically, it does involve a little bit of a planning and a little bit of a focus within yourself, with going inside within oneself versus going outside and looking for answers from the outside. But let me start with your reading. So I'm going to do, like I usually do, 2 rows, one for the first part of the month and then the other for the second part of the month. So let me pull put this down. Okay, so for the first part we have 5 of Cups reversed, upright. We have 8 of Wands reversed, 2 of Cups reversed, Sun reversed. Let's see what else. Queen of Swords and the Fool. So, Aries, what this tells me, in the first part of the month, you have 5 of Cups, 8 of Wands in reversed, and 2 of Cups. So like I said, with the Mercury retrograde, what's really important for you right now is to really focus on not really looking on the spilled cups, right? Because like in the 5 of and this card in particular, right, he's like focusing, instead of looking at what he has, he's just focusing on what he doesn't have, and he's totally missing the point. He's missing a very important piece of what's going on in his life and what can happen in his life just because of the focus. So, and then having the 8 of Wands in reversed, which is a card about movement, fast movement. It's a card about taking your time, and then it's also about communication. It has to do with anything online communication, online emails, dating online, or it just something that involves a lot of fast communication or a lot of fast movement. Now, because it's in reverse, it's no surprise to me because we have Mercury retrograde. And again, I think this points out to that for you Aries rising, this is really enforcing that idea of going within oneself and really looking for the answers within oneself versus looking for that on the outside. You want to be partnered. You really want to have somebody in your life that you're really close to, that you can share everything with. But for this month, the work is you have to do the work yourself. You can't put that on anybody else. It's just you that has to do it alone. Yes, you can ask for support, and it's actually advised for you to ask support because you're going to be really not seeing exactly what you have. So sometimes having somebody kind of pointing it out, like, hey, look, you actually, it's not as bad as you think it is. So pay attention to the good stuff in your life. And then this is kind of also moving into the second part of the month. You have the Sun reverse and you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. This is exactly that Moon square Mercury retrograde, which is between how you feel and what you think, right? Queen of Swords in reverse, it's she's all about getting the answers, cutting things out, doing what's right, being rational, being logical, not involving emotions. And when she's reversed, she's just really she is kind of missing the point. Either she's stalling, or she just doesn't have the words, or she doesn't have the right action, or she doesn't have the right answer, and she's been searching for it. Be really mindful not to act out of spite this month, or not to act out of impulse, because with the Sun reversed and when the Queen of Swords in reverse, there's a really high chance of you really just kind of like, oh, I'm done with this. I'm done. Like nothing's working out and I'm just like not seeing it. Nothing is just going my way. So why should I even put in the effort? Why even try? So you're going to be really tempted to just give up. But please don't, because this is just a phase, and this is really for you to, this retrograde is really going to ask you to dig deep and really think about what is that you really want and how do you want to move forward. And that's, if you can see the Fool, and that's the last card of the month. And then the Fool here, it's more like telling us that there's going to be a surprising new beginning for you. There's going to be something really exciting. It's just if you don't give up and if you don't really if you put in the work, to focus on what's working for you versus what's not working for you, and really be patient with yourself and with others, because it's going to be a really trying time for everybody. Moon square Mercury, everybody's on the edge, especially Mercury in Pisces. And Pisces is such a beautiful sign, but it's very sensitive. It's also very creative, imaginative, and very intuitive. So listen to your gut here too. Don't really rush into making conclusions. And this is kind of also with the Queen of Swords in reverse. Don't rush into making any decisions and any conclusion. Let the month of February pass by, and I would say even like probably after like the middle of March, that's when you really can make concrete decisions. And that's when you're going to know for sure that is it worth it, is it not? Because you're going to give it enough time for everything to everything work itself out. Plus, you're going to get, well, if you're going to do the work on yourself, you're going to get to learn some other things about you, and then certain things might change and might shift that will bring you this new beginning at the end of the month. And let me pull one oracle card for you and see what's the overall message for the month of February. Okay, let's see. So I kept it short. I don't want to go too long because I just want to give you like the most important information in the short amount of time, because everybody's busy. So Aries, especially you. Okay, so as the overall message for you, breathe. Okay, again, like with that message, just give yourself time and space and don't rush into anything, because the quicker you want things and the more you want things to speed up, the more you're risking things to not work in your best interest, if you know what I mean. So give yourself time, be patient this month, do some inner work. Do some, not only soul searching, but more it's like, look where your priorities are, and don't expect answers from others. Look for the answers within yourself. I'll leave this at that, and I will see you in the month of March. Okay, bye.